Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another video here on FreeWill Photos. Today, we're going to take a look at combining the LUT filter with the color match filter in a way that maybe you just wouldn't have thought of. And I think that this gives a lot of flexibility for people who have a series of LUTs that they're not quite sure how to apply them onto an image, or for the people who want the flexibility of what the color match filter gives, but they want to use a LUT because maybe they have a very particular way that they want to work. Either way, I think it's a great thing for everyone who's using ON1 to be aware of. And so I want to say thank you to Lee Steiner for asking how you could do such a thing. And then, I'm just here to provide you that solution. So let's go ahead and jump into ON1 and take a look. So here we are inside of ON1 Photo Raw, and this is pretty straightforward. You could do this on any photo, so don't worry about the image that I have here. You can also do this with any LUT file, all right? And so I'm not going to do anything over here in the tone and color section or the develop module as a whole, but by all means, you can still edit your image, and the technique that I'm going to show you, you can apply it during any phase really of your edit. I recommend you either do it right after you've gotten your tonal adjustments completed, or that you do it before you do all those tonal adjustments. But you can genuinely do this whenever you feel like it makes the most sense at the time. I'm going to come over here to the effects section. And before I add anything, what I want to do is come up to layers. Now, your layers section, it may be collapsed. So what you want to do is find wherever it says layers on your computer and then click on it to expand this section. This is one of those confusing tools inside of ON1, but today, don't worry, it's going to be very easy. Just follow along with me and you'll have it. And so once you click on layers to expand it, you should only have one image in your layers section. And I'm going to go ahead and come down to this little double sheet of paper. This is the duplicate layer button. And when I click that, I'm going to end up with two different layers in this section. Now, to keep things simple, I'm just going to rename these really quick. So I'm going to rename this by double clicking. You can get access to the text, and I'll rename this one. We'll call this LUT, and then we'll call this one color match. And you'll see why this is helpful. You don't have to do this step, but it is helpful if if you're going to do this technique. And so I'm going to click on the layer that I titled LUT, and then I'm going to come to the effects section, click add filter, and you probably guessed it, I'm going to add a LUT. Now, again, you can use any LUT that you would like. I'm just going to go with something that's built into ON1 Photo Raw. So I'll use the color pop, and I'm going to go with something like, I want something that's very obvious. So we'll go with this Juarez LUT here. All right. And so now that I have that applied, that's all that I have to do with this particular layer, with the exception of I need to turn it off now. Now that that layer is turned off with the LUT applied, I can come back to my color match layer. I can click on here, and then I can hit add filter, and you probably guessed it, I'm going to click on color match. This is going to apply the color match filter to a completely different layer, all right? And of course, like I mentioned before, you can have multiple effects on this one layer. Technically, you could have multiple effects on this other layer as well, but it's not going to do you any good. All right. And so once I have the color match filter added on, what I need to do is come to the section that says color match. It may be collapsed on yours. If you click it, it'll expand, and then you'll see a section that says reference. When you click there, you'll notice that I have a section titled layers, and underneath the layers, it says LUT. And this is the exact same layer that is up here in our layer section. So when I click this, you'll notice that it has now applied the color adjustment, or the LUT that I've had applied to that layer titled LUT. It has now been applied to my image here in the color match. And so this gives us a little bit more flexibility in order to work with blending the color and the luminosity, because if you're not familiar, the LUT filter, it doesn't actually have, I'm just going to apply a LUT filter. It only has these two filters, contrast and saturation. And for a long time, that's all that we've really had access to inside of ON1. But when we received the color match filter, in whichever version of ON1 we got it in, I lose track of where all of these new filters come in. Well, they gave us the ability to mix color. So let me just turn off that additional LUT that I just applied. And they gave us the ability to mix color and luminosity. And so if I wanted to apply that LUT completely to this particular image, I could pull the color all the way up, and now I'm getting that complete effect of the LUT. But I also have this luminosity slider. So if I want it to be brighter or darker. So essentially, I'm getting more control from using a LUT than what I would have been able to if I had just used the LUT filter. And for many people, I know that this is a question that they have. Well, why would I want to use color match versus a LUT filter? And in this situation, perhaps you don't have a photo, because the way that the color match filter works is you may have a photo that has the color theme that you want to apply to an image. And so you would be able to click on load file, go find that image on your hard drive, and then you can upload it here. I have one here. And so if I click that, you'll see that I have a color swatch essentially. So this is just another technique. I did this poorly because I had a bunch of white in the background there. If you do this particular technique, you want to make sure that you don't have any white on your image. Otherwise, the color match filter is going to pull that in. But the point that I want to make here is, if you do not have access to a bunch of photos with the looks that you want, but maybe you have a collection of LUTs that you really, really enjoy, well, you can just come over here to the LUT filter, and you can apply a LUT to a layer, apply the color match filter to the image that you want to use it on, and then choose the LUT layer, and you now have access to color and luminosity. So there it is in a nutshell, how you can combine the LUT filter and the color match filter in order to have the flexibility that you have with the color match filter. Now, one of the things that I did fail to explain, or at least showcase in this particular video, is that whatever you do to that layer, it will apply inside of the color match filter, specifically luminance values. So if you increase the brightness or if you decrease the brightness, then that's also going to play into that luminosity slider that's on the color match filter. So if you need more control, consider editing that layer where the LUT is applied in order to take it a step further. So if you found value, you already know, smash the like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here and you want to see more. If you want to save some money when picking up ON1 Photo Raw, consider using the coupon code FreeWill Photos 20. That is an affiliate coupon code. I do make a commission from everyone who uses it, but it's at no extra charge to you. So it's a win-win for everyone involved. If you'd like to learn how to use ON1 Photo Raw a little bit faster, consider signing up for a training call with me. A link for that can be found in the description box below. I'll meet with you one-on-one and help you develop a workflow that's specified for your needs. If that's something you're interested in, I'd love to meet with you. And until next time, I want you to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.